Thanks to EA for inviting me to this early access event. Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. It's time for another for rent speed build. And this is a mansion because you know I love to build mansions and I just wanted to create a luxurious building in Thailand, which is the new world, which is part of the Sims 4 for rent. And I just had to create all these cute round shapes because you just know me. And just for your information, this is base game and for rent only, so no other packs, just the new expansion pack and the base game, and also no mods or CC. I did not use the 2 mod here, but I still wanted to get creative and create some intricate, interesting shapes, so I went back to the good old days of using the so-called base game debug brick. Some of you might remember this. I've talked about this object so many times. Back in the day, I even made some tutorials about this, and it's just a base game debug object. That's what it is. It's supposed to be a bag of flour, at least supposedly. I'm still not sure about this. And I just wanted to create a beautiful pool, and I wanted to use all the new objects. So this is supposed to be a luxurious mansion in Thailand. And just for your information, I'm doing my best, but I'm also freestyling here a lot, so this is not supposed to look like 100% authentic. I just mixed my own style and the new objects, and I just wanted to create a really dreamy, beautiful mansion. And I started off by working on the pool and the frame. So at first, as you saw, I've used a base game rug, a round one, to have a nice outline, and I've then placed all these debug objects around it to have a lovely shape. And then the pool was sticking out in some areas because the bag of flour, the debug object, is pretty small. So I've used this wooden object, which is also from debug, but from the for rent debug, and I've used this to hide the pool, which is kind of sticking out. And I've tested this already. Like, I tested this as soon as I found this object. This object does not exist to your sim, so the sim is just walking through the wood planks, and this is amazing. This means you can use it anywhere. And here I'm using lots of debug plans. I've generally used debug a lot when it came to like all these speed builds. I generally do that because I feel like there's so many hidden treasures in debug, but here I've like especially used them because I was only using the base game and the pack, and this was just super helpful for landscaping. You will see that there are a lot of familiar plants and objects in debug. Some of them are identical to Solani objects like Island Living, and the world of Solani was decorated with some specific plants and all that, and some of them can also be found in this debug, which is perfectly fine. The vibe is really similar, and it just made sense to repurpose these palm trees, I guess. Also, it's just debug or live edit, and I feel like this is totally fine. And I was super happy because I found all these familiar palm trees and plants, and I was able to use them here to have this type of vibe. But there's one which is completely new. It looks so amazing. It looks like CC almost like Alpha CC a little bit. It's this gorgeous little palm tree that I had just used like right next to the deck, and it's so stunning. And I just know that I'm going to use it all the time. I just can't wait to build a Del Sol Valley mansion, and I want to use it all over the mansion. And the coolest thing is you can like use it for all kinds of different things, and there will be a debug tips and tricks video out soon, and I will share my ideas and thoughts so you can get creative with debug. And yeah, it's been a pleasure to build with this pack. It's amazing. I love the new world. The build buy is amazing. Debug did not disappoint, and I felt really inspired, and I generally love this type of dreamy, beautiful vibe. I love that it's so sunny and wonderful. The new world is beautiful. It just sets you in a good mood, in my opinion. And after working on the round shaped pool, I also wanted to have a round section for the build. So I simply used some round rooms, and back then this wasn't even possible. Like, it just took me back to when I started my channel and all that. Back then we had no tool mod, a lot of packs weren't out yet, and I was like still trying to figure out how to be really creative in this game. And I've definitely like learned some new stuff over the years, obviously, and using like only the base game and one pack and going back to the amazing base game debug brick just really took me back to, I don't know, 2018, 2019. And I was luckily able to here use the curved rooms because back then they didn't exist. And as soon as the 2 mod came out, we were able to rotate individual windows to create some fake rooms. And I just had to think back to the old days and how amazing it is that we now have these curved rooms. And yeah, I've just used the biggest ones available, I think, in the center at the bottom. The windows at the bottom are also from the new pack, and they are stunning. And I just wanted to have a nice contrast. So there are a lot of wooden tones, but also a lot of white. So there's a nice contrast. And there's like floaty in the pool is also from the new pack. I've then used so many debug rocks from Forend to have like a nice landscaping and all that. And there was also this rock which like looked like it was full of corals and stuff, which is I think also similar or identical to the ones from Island Living. And here you can see the palm tree that I was mentioning. It looks so amazing. And I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. This tub is also like the hot tub is also new, and I then just slowly expanded the build. I knew that I wanted the round section in the front to be like the star of the show, also the deck on the right side which sits above the pool, which looks super cool. And I knew that I would like to have like these as my eye-catching features, and I then just expanded the build on the right side, and I've used all the new windows and doors and all that. There's also a new frieze which is beautiful, but you can only use it from like the mid-height upwards. So if you use like the low wall height, you cannot use it, and this is why I did not use it for some of my builds. You know that I'm like notorious for using the tallest wall height, so this might seem weird, but the lot sizes are small in this world, and I think it looks weird when you have a really small building and then you use the tallest wall height. I think one of the reasons why I always use the tallest wall height is because I don't know, I built a gigantic mansion in a 64 by 64 lot in Death Valley, for example. But here I really had to hold myself back, and I have to say, for me personally, this was the biggest challenge. I felt instantly inspired, like getting my hands on the new pack and having like early access is a dream come true. But it was really difficult for me personally to make sense of the lot sizes because I'm just so used to build gigantic houses. So I wanted to find a middle ground here. I wanted to have a really big luxurious mansion, but it's still not too big. I think this is a 40 by 30 lot. It's the biggest lot in the world. It has a nice view of the ocean, so I felt like this is the perfect lot to create a really luxurious build. And I was trying to figure out what to do with this section. You just saw that I had initially placed a curved room as well, but I then got rid of this because I didn't like what it looked like. I felt like I would have needed more space to make it look good and to connect everything. So I just got rid of it, and I just built this section where we have a fountain in the center so your Sims can really chill, and it just looks so beautiful. And yeah, this is not supposed to be like a rental house that you could rent it out, but the way that I build it, it's just like a regular luxurious mansion really. I just had to create a mansion. That's all I could say. I just wanted to do that, and there's more coming. I have more stuff pre-recorded, and I'm just so excited to show you everything. It generally feels so amazing to be back and to build and to talk to you and to record, and I just had so much fun. The weird thing for me though is like I always have one project that I'm working on, and then I finish the build and the video, and then I release it, and then I like move to the next project. This is like how my brain works when, like, as soon as I start a second project, I don't want to go back to the first one. And it felt really unusual to work on multiple projects at once, to like record as much as possible during early access. And yeah, I hope that you're happy with how everything turned out. I really did my best, and it felt really it's just so amazing to like have this opportunity. And again, thank you so much to all of you. You made this possible for me. And I'm just so excited to like for those who like my builds that I'm now also like able to sometimes maybe show you something early, and it was an honor to be a part of this early access, and maybe if I'm lucky, it might happen again in the future. And I'm just like so happy that I now have the possibility to like give you a first look as well, and to just build something right away. And yeah, I spent all my time in build mode. I didn't want to like really dive into gameplay because I really wanted to use the time I had to build and to really take a look at build mode and all the objects and debug and live at it, because that's what I'm doing. And I feel like the game players can like take a look at the gameplay and tell you if it's good or not, but I really wanted to focus on what I do best probably. So like I just can't, like, I'm not a good game player. I don't think that that's what I can do best. I feel like I'm a builder, and this is why like the whole focus here is building. And here I'm working on the floor plan. I just wanted to have big rooms, big bathrooms, big en suites. The problem is the lot size isn't too big, so I really tried to like squeeze everything into this house. And I have this beautiful sunroom that you just saw. I just built it on the outside, like I worked on the exterior first, as you saw, and I then just added all these windows and the glass roof, and it just came along so nicely. And I thought, okay, on the inside it just has to be just a nice sunroom, and that's it. It just looks perfect as a sunroom. And you know, exteriors are the most fun to me, but furnishing can also be fun. And to me, there's nothing more fun than using new objects from a new pack to furnish. It just comes along so easily and so nicely. It's just so much fun. I just really love this. I enjoy furnishing so much whenever a new pack is out. And here I was really exploring the amazing furniture, and you may have seen my last video, which was a apartment building. It was the first video that I had released for The Sims 4 for rent, so you can check it out if you haven't seen it. And in this video, I was of course also furnishing, and it was so much fun, but here it felt like I'm doing what I love doing the most, furnishing luxurious mansions. And I felt like here I was really exploring the furniture for the first time, like trying to combine everything and doing it the way I like to do it. And here I was trying to get creative with this wall decoration. I was placing it on both sides on this wall. I wanted to use these windows, and I then had to hide the window at the bottom because I wanted to place this calendar right in front of it, and it just looks weird when you like see the back of the calendar through the window. So I just used this wall decoration to hide this, and I then just built the kitchen there. I had used up a lot of space for the dining area and living room, so the kitchen is not as spacious as usual, but the way the whole floor plan came along, it just made sense to really build the dining room there. I felt like it was just the perfect spot. And I've used the new spandrels, which are so stunning. You can here see them. And I was also trying to mix and match some different wood colors. I have a tendency to only stick to one swatch and all that, and I wanted to mix and match all the amazing wood swatches as long as it made sense to me. And also the curtains, they are beautiful. There's also a neutral white swatch, I think a black swatch, and I like when we have like patterns, but also like neutral colors and like no pattern, because sometimes some of the patterns can clash a little bit. I think it's always nice to have a more simple alternative. And this is a nice indoor garden because I had this kind of dead space right behind the stairs, and I thought, okay, there's so many windows, it's really bright and beautiful, so this could be perfect to have a nice indoor garden, and it just matches the whole vibe of the mansion and the world. And this area is kind of just a space for having an office. As you will see, I'm going to build a computer over there and all that. And this is a lovely bathroom, so there's anything your Sims need. I think I almost forgot to include a bathroom here. This sometimes happens to me. I plan out the floor plan, I furnish, and then I'm like, okay, where's the bathroom going? And yeah, this can be tricky. And this is the lovely sunroom. Really just a really simple room, lots of plants, a nice table, a coffee table, and an armchair. You could read a book there. Just you may have your first cup of coffee in the morning there, like this kind of room. And this is one of the bedrooms, and I just really love the new like dressers, drawers, all these new objects are beautiful. I've used the canopy bed in like all of my builds, as you will see, because it's like the only bed in this pack, and I really wanted to use the new pack to show it off and to like have fun. I just wanted to use it. And of course I've also mixed in some base game objects here and there, but you will see that I'm using all these objects all the time because it's really about for rent, and this is like what I wanted to focus on. And this is another room, and I think it's really good when you build a apartment building to really like kind of color code the different rooms by using different wallpapers. I mean, I've done this here just for different bedrooms. This is not a rental, as I've said, but I just had to think of this. It really helped while I was building to like make sense of the different units when I was working on a like multi-unit apartment. And I think I lied because I just remember that I'm like recording the voiceover. There's like this small space up there at the very top which you could rent out. I even included a kitchen and all that, so it's just like a regular mansion, but you also have this little apartment up there. So this could be either for a butler if you own Vintage Glamour and you just want to have a butler in your house, or you rent this out and your Sims make some money this way. I just remembered, like I totally forgot because there was this kind of weird space at the top and I had no idea how to utilize it, and I then just built a whole apartment in there, so you could rent this out, which is amazing. Or maybe your butler lives there, or your teenager sim, or anyone. And this is it. This video is slowly coming to an end. I'm adding some screenshots so you can really take a closer look at this build. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you will enjoy the next build because we are not done here yet. I hope you're ready for the next video. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I hope you are doing so well, and I'm just so excited to see you in the next video. Bye bye.